move the phone. There we go. Just tilt it back toward you, so.
Tilt what back toward the phone?
Okay.
Hey, welcome in, welcome in. We are a little bit earlier than we originally scheduled to be, but we wanted to try to get in enough time with you all before we had to jump on some sessions for this afternoon, which is out of the normal, but it's a part of what we do, right?
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing?
He's letting them know we're going live. He's letting a couple of people know that we're about to go live, that like for us to keep them in it. Hey, Eileen, girl, you be on it. You be on it on every live. What you gonna do today? Well, I don't know. Bless you.
Bless me.
Bless you. I don't know what we're gonna do today. I don't know if we're gonna go out for a walk at the park today. It's gonna be really nice here in Birmingham, Alabama. So, good morning, Taj. She's on YouTube and she's probably watching us on TikTok as well.
What's up, TikTok? How y'all doing? Saturday.
Got Jamaica in the house this morning. Well, this afternoon.
Boink, boink. Jamaica.
You don't think you'll offend people when you do that?
No, I think that's like culture, but that's
really?
nothing. That's nothing.
That's nothing to.
If you're from Jamaica, if that offended you, please let me know.
Yeah, I just want to know the stuff that when people do that, and I know you probably get it all the time. Does that offend you? Do what you just did? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm
from
not.
The person from Jamaica.
I only know that's Jamaican.
See, and that's the whole thing. It's like sometimes
this is the thing.
Sometimes we stereotype things,
and if it's not from Jamaica, shouldn't bother you.
Okay. All right. All right.
But if you're from
Good
Jamaica,
morning,
please
David.
let me know. What's up, David?
Dubai. We have Dubai in the house. Okay.
Yeah, only God got me. I love that.
Yes, I like that. I like that. So you have a question. If you have a questions, we are taking questions today.
Yeah, today is about
questions, just having conversations, what you guys want to know, what can we give you our opinion about.
Yes.
So
yeah, my wife is drinking coffee and I'm doing the convo.
Yeah, he's doing the convo, okay?
How do you sign up for something?
How do you sign up for our sessions? Great question. So what you'll do is you'll go to blendedandwinning.com. blendedandwinning.com.
Antarctica. Wow.
It is blendedandwinning.com. That's how you will go and sign up for sessions. And what you'll do is you'll complete a contact form. Complete a contact form just letting us know. Sure.
What's up, Mr. Curtis?
Look, my Cheez-It shirt. I have on my Cheez-It shirt today, y'all. I figured that a lot of y'all might just like my Cheez-It shirt.
and it says,
I'm representing today.
And it says baked snack mix.
Baked snack mix. On Joaquin's baked snack mix, y'all. So how you sign up for sessions is go to www.blendedandwinning.com. And when you go there, complete a contact form to let us know that you are either looking for couples coaching.
Yes.
Couples coaching is basically sort of like a premarital or it's a relationship coaching opportunity if you're not married. Then we have marriage coaching. We have life coaching, life and personal coaching. And we also have grief recovery. Those are the options that we have available right now. So that is how you will go and inquire and sign up for it. We will then send you an email to get your available days and to get your available days and times. And then we will set up a session within 2 weeks after we receive that information.
Yeah.
So.
And fresh new start, 2021. I hope you heard that information. That's how you would set up the one-on-one with us. All right?
Yes. Hey, Katie. Is Dr. G listening today too? We love you too, Katie.
We got Delaware in the house, baby. We have Antarctica.
Welcome in from Antarctica.
Ethiopia.
Welcome.
We got Clay, Alabama.
Alabama. Okay.
So look, get started with your questions. Want to jump on in today because we know some of the questions will require some of both of our responses. So we want
Yes.
to give you as much time as we can today because we do have some other
Wyoming, Virginia,
Norway,
Norway,
Delaware.
Delaware, H-Town, Orlando, Florida.
H-Town is Houston for the people that
Yes,
don't know.
yes. Okay. What do you do if your spouse says, I just want to hit you when they are angry, but never do it? You better tell him he go to door, he go to wall, he go something. Cause you know, in that type of situation, your spouse might need to seek out some type of anger management.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they never do it, and it's not acceptable that they even what's the word I'm looking for? That they even
Voice it.
yeah, that they even say things of that nature because it doesn't give you a sense of security.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, get an understanding of why they say that.
Yeah, why? What
Why?
was their childhood like? What did that look like for them when they got angry or someone was angry at them? So, I mean, that's definitely we have to get that understanding.
Yep. So, first of all, happy Saturday to everyone. We hope you all have had a great Saturday so far, and we hope that we being on here speaking with you all will make both of our weekends go a little better. We even have
Mhm.
Egypt in here, baby. We got
Oh,
Egypt in here.
Egypt. We have people from all, I mean, when you talk about international, when you talk about God will place you in households that He is calling you to, I mean, this just shows it when we have Ethiopia, we have Egypt, Jamaica,
Dubai,
Norway,
South
Dubai,
Africa.
South Africa. When we have these places that come on here, it brings our hearts so much joy that you all will take your time to listen to little old us.
Yes, because when you have places like Antarctica in here, this
Yes.
is probably the only time we go see each other.
And like, you know what? You talk about Japan. We've had
Yes,
Japan on here
Japan,
before. And it's
China.
like, oh my God. Oh, Eileen, have fun at your aunt's baby shower.
Eileen, get it?
We got Miami Gardens. We got Joanne from Miami Gardens, Florida. She's on YouTube today.
Kenya in the house. What is your favorite place to visit?
Um, where do I like to visit right now? Anywhere that's not a beach. I'll go anywhere where there's not a beach. Right now, Gatlinburg, Tennessee. What?
That's my favorite place.
Oh, he says his favorite place to visit is me.
I whispered that for a reason.
Oh, I didn't know if they heard you or not, but I just okay.
She's my beach.
Okay. I can never get him to act right on here, y'all.
I told Stacey she's my beach. That's right, baby.
Yeah.
But I love the beach. I love the sound of the ocean.
Yeah.
So if I had to choose a place right now, it would probably be. I love Destin, Florida. Destin, Florida is pretty to me. It is pretty to me, but I think one of our new places once we visit there will probably be Cancun. Once my wife sees different types of beaches and experience the different types
Beaches.
of experiences with them, she'll kind of come around.
Mm-hmm. So we have a question on YouTube that says, would you guys ever consider getting an RV to travel if you don't already have one?
Thailand. No, we don't have RV.
We don't have an RV, but yes, we would definitely consider getting one to do some traveling. Yes.
It's actually been a discussion we've had before.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But if we get an RV, we have to get an RV driver. Because I ain't gonna be driving everywhere.
Yeah. Ooh, Katie on YouTube said, I would love Jamaica.
Oh, you coming with us?
She said, Katie said, I would love Jamaica. The beaches have to be, I'm telling you, this is what I don't like about beaches. The beaches that I've been to, smell.
And that's every last one of them.
And that smells horrible. It smells horrible for one. So we were in Destin, the last beach we went to. We were in Destin, and I didn't want to take off my flip-flops to walk onto the beach. And Joaquin was like, take your flip-flops off. And I was like, why? You don't know what's in this dirt.
Trinidad in the
There's
house.
so much dirt on the beach. And I get it. I get it. It's supposed to be sand, okay? But there's so much of it.
Y'all see what I deal with?
And two,
Somebody said I can drive.
that water. I can't swim yet, Katie, for one. I gotta learn how to swim. And I think I might have a different appreciation for the beach at that point. But I just.
You got Holland in the house. First of all, my wife cannot stand the smell at the beach, which it smells like fish.
Okay.
And seafood.
Yes.
It's a beach.
But it's, yeah, like Katie said, it is nothing like the Gulf Coast. It's nothing like that. And she said Jamaica, they're leaving to go to Jamaica in 2 weeks. Katie, have enough fun for me, girl.
I told her it's different.
Uh-huh. Oh, that is super sweet. Thank you for existing.
Oh, wow.
Thank you.
We can't call their names like him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, Sincere Alden. Thank you, Sincere Alden. That's a blessing for us.
That is a nice compliment.
And look, we want to come on here and actually speak about a certain subject today, but we really want to give you all a chance to speak for yourselves, ask questions. D. Clark, hoo-dee-hoo!
Hey.
Yeah, we want to give you a chance to just come on here and talk to us. Since we're not able to really do a lot of live things right now.
We won't have any more pop-up now.
Cool.
Okay.
Woo. We just want to come in and just holler at you all for a minute. It's about just making sure we're cool with you all. What's up, Camille?
Hey, Camille.
Tell your husband we said hey. So, what are the next questions? Let's find some
questions.
questions.
See you guys together. It's because it makes me know that marriage still works. Yes, absolutely. Marriage does work.
Thank you, Frida.
And we understand that we do understand that a lot of people haven't seen good marriages in a while. That is one of the things that is tough to find in today's world.
Thank you. We love you too. And this is the thing. Marriage is beautiful, but we don't promote our marriage enough the way people promote their failures.
Yeah.
That's why the old saying, my grandparents used to say, bad news travels faster than good news. If you want somebody to know something that's a negative, you ain't got to put it on social media. Just tell somebody. Just tell somebody. Just whisper it in their ear, and I promise you, it'll get there quicker than that good news will. It's almost like people don't want to be happy for other people being happy. But they're happy to spread the news of, hey, they're going through it. They're this. Oh, that's not us.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we have a question that says, do you guys have the same bank account or separate?
I ain't putting my money with hers. I am not putting my it's same bank account.
Thank you. Thank you.
Same bank account. Both our monies is green. No, seriously, we do have the only thing separate about our bank account is what comes out of what? Billing and saving. That's it. Other than that, all of our money goes to one account.
So Sincere Alden, that's good. But how old are your kids, Sincere? She says, I'm a single parent of 2 and have devoted myself to my kids until they get older.
Okay, what's your definition of older? How old are they?
Yes.
Yeah, that was my question.
Yeah, how old are they?
Sincere?
I mean, because you're putting your life on hold, and don't deny yourself the opportunity to still live, Sincere Alden. No. Because you can still, in this space that you're in as a single parent,
have fun.
You can still have a great time. Focus on you. Make sure you get that self-care. Make sure that you are selfish with yourself as well, so that you will know when it's time for you to step into a relationship with somebody, you haven't lost a sense of self.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Because if you're focusing all on your kids, you're putting all of that energy on them, and you may get to a point, Sincere Alden, that you find yourself living your life vicariously through your
Yep.
kids. And then what happens to you, sweetheart? So be careful about that. Be careful with putting all of that energy and all of that into your kids and not learning about you, okay? You have to be, this is the perfect time in your singleness, sweetheart, to be a little selfish with
Yep.
yourself.
In our opinion, this is what you do. When you do that, you actually put um you put your kids in a bad situation too. Give you an example. As they get older, they get used to mama being there for everything.
Mm-hmm.
Mama's gonna be there. Mama's gonna do that. And all of a sudden, you find someone that's you want in your life, and you start wanting to spend time with them. You're taking the time away from your kids as they get older, which you should. And now they think you should drop everything to be there for them because that's what you've always done. There has to be balance.
Mm-hmm.
There has to be balance. And this is the thing. One thing is parents, we know if you're a parent that you're old enough your kids have left the home, one thing we know is no matter how much we love them, they're going to go out on their own. And no matter how much we may want them to stay around us because we feel like we need them to survive, they're going to have to go out on their own and live their own life.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure you set yourself up so that when they are out of the house, you don't suffer.
Yeah. So I'm telling you, it's definitely, and I'm gonna tell you, sincere Alden, one thing that you can do is question your kids about what they see in you. Listen to them about what they see. How do you see mommy? Do you know what mommy likes to do and things of that nature? Okay, because they also help you to get to know yourself while you're in your singleness.
Yep. Once again, depends on how old they are.
Mm-hmm.
Ask them, what do you think about mommy dating again?
Yep.
Man, you'd be amazed. They'd be like, Mom, you need somebody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But in the end, you do what is best for you
Yes.
because you make the final decision. Remember, we are on here just sharing our perspective, just sharing our opinions. We are not on here to say what we say is concrete, that this is what goes. I don't want anyone on our lives to ever think that that's what we're here to do. No, we've walked through many different experiences as individuals, as parents, as husband, as wife. It gives us a totally different perspective because we allow other people to come into our lives as our mentors, as our coaches, to help us walk through some things, and we just want to pay it forward.
And because this is the thing, they know that we're going to do what's best for us.
Yeah.
But it also helps for us to do what's best for us when we have options to choose from. When we can say, well, this is what we've always done. Well, what we've always done has us in a place of stagnation. We're stagnant. No, give us some ideas and plant some things in our mind that we make say, okay, you know what? We could try this a little differently.
Right.
So at the end of the day, you're going to, hey, we don't consider ourselves to be no gurus or anything, but do what's best for you, but at least you have a different perspective of something that you can do.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. Yep.
She's I'm so done with relationship. I still have one more kid to raise, and she's 14. Oh, she's 14. She about out the door.
Yep.
That's three more years.
Mm-hmm.
3-4 more years tops. Yep, great time just to get to learn who you are again.
Yes.
And this is the thing, get to learn who you are, not being hung up or bitter or mad about the past. Sometimes every decision we make is built off of us, our anger or our disappointment about the past.
Yes. Okay, I can definitely speak to this. This is Rena.
My lips are dry.
Rena, I was about to say my oil should be over there, but it's not. Rena on YouTube says, she asked the question, what should you do when you have a codependent mother who put all of the responsibility on her ever since she was the age of 18 and she's 37 now and she feels like she's stuck?
Wow.
So Rena, was mom dealing with an illness? What was the reason that she put so much of that on you from the age of 18? because I can definitely speak to that because my mom basically, I'm not going to say she stopped living her life, but she didn't accomplish a lot of things in her life. So she depended on me for a very long time. She depended on me until I stepped up in my marriage to Joaquin and let her know that I have to live my life. I am a wife now. Okay. And what I have to do is I have to continue to learn who I am, whose I am, and live that life that God is putting forth in front of me. And for you, Rena, it's gonna come to a place where you're gonna have to at some point wonder and ask your mom, why are you holding me here? Because I feel like that I'm being held hostage, or that I'm being held captive, and I feel like that I'm stuck here with you and I'm unable to live the life that God is putting in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we don't say something, then we stay stuck
Yeah.
because we aren't saying anything about how we're feeling. Your mom may not know. That's the one thing that I learned in my grief recovery, was that I had to love my mom right where she was. My grandmother was shot and killed. My maternal grandmother was shot and killed when my mom was 5 years old. My mother did not know what being a mother looked like. She didn't know what raising sons and daughters looked like, because when she was 5, from the age of 5, my mom was from piddle to pole. That's what we say here down south. She was from one house to another, to another, to another. So she didn't get that stability. So initially, she didn't know how to give us that stability.
That's good.
Okay. So in that, I expected so much of my mother. Why? Because she was my mother, because she carried that title of my mother, but she didn't know how to do that. So therefore, when she saw that she was raising a strong child that was very mature, that was very independent outside of what she had already given us or the way she was raising us, she latched on to that. She latched on to a child that was taking care of responsibilities, that understood that mental illness was real, that understood that, look, there are some things that we're going to be faced with that we don't know how to deal with, but we're willing to learn how. My mom was never able to do that because she didn't know where to go. She didn't know what to seek. So when I became old enough, she did that to me, because she knew if she wanted to learn something, she could learn it vicariously through me. And so we have to go back and we have to replay, what did my mom's life look like to bring me to this place? For me to be in this position to feel like I'm stuck and I'm caring for my mom and that she's living her life vicariously through me. So I hope that helps, Rena. I really, really hope that helps.
So someone asked, does marriage really work?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It does. Hold on. I want to, because she's mentioned this a couple
Several
of
times.
times in
Several
here.
times. Yeah.
Okay. What's the name?
Frida. Frida 980.
Okay. What's the name? Frida. I'm sorry. I was reading. I was trying to read something on
Right.
YouTube, babe. I'm sorry. Um, Rena. Rena says that I just got divorced and I'm still in love with my ex, and I don't know
Frida.
how. What did I say?
You say Rita.
I did Frida. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm talking to Frida on TikTok. Um, I just got divorced and I'm still in love with my ex, and I don't know how to move on. Um, Frida, you gotta find you again. As sometimes what happens is that we are stuck in what value they brought to our lives, or still hanging on to what they brought into our lives. But that's an ex.
Mm-hmm. And yeah.
So
Yeah.
what ended the marriage? Why is that person now an ex? Something happened to where you both could not work that
Yeah.
out. So what you now have to do is you have to let go of what potential that relationship possibly had,
Yep.
because
And you have to wrap your mind around that.
yes.
It's no more.
Mm-hmm.
You all have both made a conscious decision, um, to leave the marriage. Yep. And if that person has left you and they're trying to move on, it's in your best interest, in our opinion, you do the same. You know, the same way we fall in love with someone is the same way we have to fall out of love with them.
Yes.
And it takes time. Yep. But you have to put yourself in a position to fall out of love. And I don't mean being in another relationship. It's just about finding who you are, finding the things that you want to do, the things that you probably couldn't do freely in your marriage.
Right.
That's time to do those things.
Yeah.
And once again, it doesn't have to involve another relationship. It can involve you just going to the movies by yourself, you doing certain things, not cleaning up when you don't want to. All that stuff is
yes, and
in your presence now.
And Rena on YouTube, you are more than welcome. Like I said, you said that it really helped you from what I just said, but I hope that you and your mom can find a way to live again. It's one thing to be alive, but it's also one thing to be able to live while you're alive as well. Yeah.
Well, Frida, how long has the divorce been? Did she say she had been divorced how many months ago?
She didn't say. She didn't say.
Oh, she did. Well, Frida, this is the thing. She said, I prayed and I'm still waiting on God to hear my cry. He's heard your cry. He's heard your prayer.
Yeah.
This is the thing. Just because, okay, no different than us being parents. We can hear our kids ask for something, but we're waiting on them to do the things they need to do to be in a position for us to help them.
Right.
Because if we continue to help them out on every little move, they'll never become to be self-efficient or self-dependent on themselves.
Yes. And that's great. He says, I've prayed and I'm still waiting on God to hear my cry. He hears you. But remember, sometimes we want things to happen like right then and there. We are living in a generation, or we are a generation that likes instant gratification. Instant gratification. And sometimes when you don't hear God, it could be a simple delay, because He is an on-time God.
But you have to put the work in.
Faith without works is dead. Faith without works is dead. And maybe because you don't feel like He hears you right now, what you may be asking Him for right now, He's saying, baby girl, that's not what I have for you. No, what you're asking for is not what I have for you. I got something so much greater for you. And sometimes God needs us to make some moves before He will.
Yeah. And Frida, let's be honest. When a lot of times people say that when you can actually admit that you're still in love with someone else, that's going to be too early for you to move on to someone else. Because you're going to try to love that person through your old love.
Yep.
You have to find out who you are so you understand what you love now. Not what someone else loved in you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, and thank you all for the gifts and everything.
Yes.
Really,
Yes.
thank you so much.
Thank you, Coffee, for the rose.
Watching from Kenya. Thank you. You think Marcy Penry, she says, I think if you have been married, that there is always going to be some love left. This is just my opinion, Marcy. Even having children with someone does not mean that there is going to be some love left. Like, I just can't agree with that because of my own experiences. Now, this is Marcy. This is simply me saying from my own experience, baby girl. My ex-husband, my baby daddies, no love, like none.
And let me say this: there are different types of love.
There are.
So let's get it right. Sometimes when people say love, they think love as far as still wanting to be with this person, or lustful love. No, then there's the love of phileo, like Philadelphia. Phileo love is just that brotherly love. You still think they're a good person. We just didn't work.
Sonia Lene, hey boo.
So Sonia Lene, so yes, you can still love that person on that level, but we both need to be clear: it's that level. I still respect this person. We still cool. We don't hang out like we still used to, but we're still cool with this person.
Oh, that is single mother. She says that she's now in a new relationship, and because of her last marriage, she doesn't know how to fight fair. Living as a single mother, baby, that's good.
Okay.
That's right, Sonya Lene. We have to be in position to receive our blessings.
You have to be. Yeah, because this is the thing. God isn't going to move your blessing. Your blessing is right there in a holding pattern, but you have to get there.
Yes, and Frida, I think a lot of them on YouTube are speaking to you right now. And I have someone on YouTube that says you have to decide to value yourself.
Yep.
And when you decide to value yourself, it's just like Joaquin and I have been saying is you got to look at you, Frida.
Mm-hmm.
You got to find that thing that motivates you. What is it about Frida that Frida loves?
Mm-hmm.
What is it about Frida that Frida can forgive? Frida has to walk in her forgiveness. She has to walk in love. She has to walk in trust. She has to walk in forgiveness. See, Frida has to do all of that in order for Frida to move forward.
Yeah, you have to walk in your purpose and your gifts. If somebody tries to hinder you from that,
yeah. So, and that's one thing I actually priceless Lily. What should you do if you and your partner made mistakes? I want Joaquin to speak to that because, and the reason I say that is because I can sit here and say what I did 11, 12 years ago was a mistake. Joaquin says it was a
choice.
It was a choice.
No.
Okay, because we know better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Grown people kill me, man. I made a mistake. I made a mistake. A mistake is when a baby walk in and touch the stove. And guess what that baby don't do again? That baby don't make that same mistake. We make dumb choices. And we make selfish choices. However, let me say this. In a marriage, you're still a human being.
Mm-hmm.
So in a marriage, we're going to make mistakes. Because a marriage, let me clarify now. A marriage is something new to us. So I may make a mistake of stepping on her love language. Or not loving her per her love language. That's a mistake we can work around being human beings.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the marriage here. When I say marriage, it's right here. Everything that we do here can be considered a mistake and we can learn from it. If I step outside of this, then I've made some dumb choices. See, I can make some mistakes right here because I'm still trying to love her. I'm still trying to make sure I'm everything she needs me to be. And sometimes I'm loving her per my love language or per my view of what I think she should need love for. And she has the right to correct me, and I have the right to correct her to love me the way I need to be loved. But if I step outside of us two, and the only thing that's separating us right now, and the only thing holding us together is God. Boom. If I choose to step outside of God's ordained law for marriage and away from her, then I make some dumb mistakes. I mean, some dumb choices.
Okay.
Yeah, it's okay for me to make a mistake here because my mistake needs to be viewed by both of us. Our mistakes need to be viewed as
I didn't love you right. I didn't love you via your love language.
Yes,
I didn't love you in the manner that God is creating me to love you.
But the mistake I made wasn't made with malicious intent. It's made with me trying to get closer to you. I did it the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
But if I step outside of us,
yeah,
those are choices.
And so with your question, Precious Lily, I wanted to make sure that we understood what is a mistake in marriage and what is a choice. Mm-hmm. Okay, because that's the one thing that Joaquin helped me understand is that Stacey, that wasn't a mistake, that was a choice. Mm-hmm. You made that choice knowing what could be the end result. Yeah. Okay,
and this is the thing, whether it's a mistake or a choice, we all still need grace because none of us are perfect.
Yes,
but it's your choice to give that grace and stay, or that grace to move on. If the choice or the mistake was just too hard to bear. Yeah. Mm-hmm. We always tell people it's not our job to tell you to stay with somebody. It's not our job to tell you to stay with somebody.
Okay, you just said stay with somebody twice.
I'm sorry, stay with somebody or leave them.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I stayed, y'all. I stayed, so I'm kind of confused sometimes because I ain't going nowhere.
Yeah. Oh, so somebody tried kind of clarified and it was like
Oh
you
yeah, that's
may be
cool.
mistaking, you may be confusing love for still caring
Mm-hmm.
what happens to them. Um
Because I truly believe if something were to happen to either of my wife's ex-husbands, well, I'm saying put it like this. I think if my wife something were to happen to my wife's baby daddies, that she would care.
yeah, I
I'm
would
gonna I'm gonna
care.
tell you why. Because if something happened to them, it affects our kids.
Right. Right. It impacts my kids, so
Yeah,
I got to be there for them and I'm like, "Hey, I mean, if that means going to a funeral or anything, yes, but I'm doing that for my child."
yeah.
Yeah. Mhm. Mm. David said, "Y'all know what he means. I can't tell you what to stay or to stay. Y'all know what he means." Thank you for clarifying that, David.
Thank you, David.
Yes.
They know.
So we've been married, for those of you who don't know, we've been married 13 years. We've been together 16.
Yes.
So we're going on 13 years. October will make 13 years.
Yes. And for you all that don't know, this is my first marriage. This is my wife's third marriage. Well, third marriage. I'm going to put 6 of them up. I don't want people to think. Hey, what state is it? I think after you get married so many times, the state won't even allow you to get married anymore.
See, you be bringing stuff up into these
Oh,
conversations
you know what?
that
That's
just
not,
like,
that's for another day. I just thought about it. That was Texas, I think. What's up, Diamond Baby? Diamond Baby. That's what she said.
"Hey, Candace." Candace is on YouTube.
What's up, Candace?
Charles and Candace, baby.
Hey, Candace.
Charles.
They said love your shirt.
Hi,
They
Evan.
said love your shirt.
Thank you. Which one? Mine or his? Mine is Cheez-Its.
Definitely, we will be praying for your Lady G2U. Yeah, we'll definitely pray for your son and your daughter.
Yes. And who's the boss? Both of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, both of us are
Yeah.
bosses.
God is the boss.
Yeah. Yeah. Both of us are bosses.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I'm making the final decision.
Yeah. Affirmation. I'm gonna teach some of you women how to affirm your man. Baby, you are right. He makes the final decision in our house. I don't care if it's big or small. He makes the final decision.
Thank you.
That's right. My pleasure,
Yeah.
baby.
Now let me bring some clarity. If
Yes.
y'all think for
Hey.
a second,
Hey, no. I want you to have your moment, baby. Please have your moment. Isn't Stacey agreed too soon? No. Hey, David, I have learned to affirm my man.
that's right.
Okay?
And see, women,
I have learned to affirm that man.
that is a great teaching right
yes.
there. Because this is the thing. If a man truly is in position as a man, none of my decisions, big or small, go. I never put them forth or put them into place without her opinion. So whether I make the final decision, my decision is based on something she said or something she's done with me. And if I don't agree with what she's saying, I'm gonna just say, okay, I think it's better to go this way. And guess what? We have to live or die with that choice. But if it's the wrong choice, guess what I have to do? Humble myself and say, baby, you know what? I should have listened to you. That was a better decision, but we had never been there before.
Yeah.
We had never been there before, so boom. But if it's something that my wife has more, if she's more diverse in this area, and she's worked with this particular opinion or something we have to go, bridge we have to cross, as a boss, guess what I'm doing? You got this, girl. It's your choice. I'm following you. Because guess what? As I follow her in something that she knows more about than I do, I can still give my opinion, but we're still going through across this bridge as a married couple.
Mm-hmm.
So when we win, when she wins, I win.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's something dealing with something I have more diversification in, guess what? She still wins.
Yeah.
And when somebody asks me, man, how'd you come up with that choice? Man, I couldn't deal without my wife. Man, without her, man, I would not have made this choice. So yes, we're both bosses. However, we understand how the things flow. That's all I would say.
Mm-hmm. So, but hey, sometimes he might need to be reminded, and he needs to know that he is the head of this household. I never go outside of God's order when it comes to my household, my marriage. That's something that I don't ever, and I don't
Yeah.
ever want him to feel that way. And if he does, I have to make sure that my actions are in line with that the audio matches the
Mhm.
video, that he knows that no, baby, I am not trying to take charge.
Yeah.
I'm not.
And those are facts. Those are
Yeah.
facts. As for a man to women want men to be protectors, providers, lovers, etc. Well, the only way we can protect you is if you allow us, and we feel like you will allow us to protect you.
That's good, Katie. David, that is good. Katie on YouTube. And I wish that a lot of you would watch on YouTube. It's just so much easier for us to see your comments and your questions on YouTube as opposed to on TikTok, because they come through so fast on TikTok. But Katie Gordon on YouTube just said it. She says that was one of the hardest things for her to do in the marriage that she's in now. Because Katie, what, you're on your second or third marriage now, Katie? So Katie and I we love each other, and we love one of the same men as well. Her husband is one of the doctors that I met when I was working my last job, and so she comes on here and she talks about how that was hard for her. And she was like, affirmation is not submission, but rather allowing him to be the man that God has called him to be.
Yep.
And that's what it's about.
And the only woman that we want affirming us and need to be affirming us is our wife.
Yes.
And if all you're doing is speaking down to me, you actually open up doors for other people outside of our marriage to do what you're supposed to do.
Right. And Katie and her husband are a blended family as well, because Katie is on her second marriage, and I think her husband, Dr. G, is on his third marriage.
So they're blended and winning.
Yeah. So definitely, if you want, and then the lives also replayed on YouTube as well. So if you are subscribing to our YouTube page, please subscribe to our YouTube page, because you can go back, and if you missed any of this, you can get it. There is, yep, that's okay, Katie.
That's that question.
And yes, I want Joaquin to answer this specific question from Papa Bruce 3, because that's a great question, Papa Bruce 3. And Joaquin is going to recommend that you and your woman watch these particular two YouTubes that we watched, and I just did a workshop for women on this particular YouTube.
Oh, yes. Yes.
The healthy woman. Okay. So here's the question. I'll read the question for y'all. Why is it so hard loving a broken woman? Y'all listen to this question. I mean, I need y'all to hear everything on here, okay? Why is it so hard loving a broken woman when you do everything to prove that you're not him? What does a man do when he is loving a broken woman, when he is doing everything that he can possibly do to prove to her that he is not the one that hurt her? That's good.
That is very good.
That is good. Before Joaquin starts answering that question, that was me, Papa Bruce. That was me for 2 years in our marriage. I wasn't allowing Joaquin to love me because I was still broken. Okay? So.
Yeah. First of all, the thing needs to be addressed is she needs to know that she's broken. If she doesn't think she's broken, it's going to be hard to fix anything. My wife had to come to the conclusion that, yeah, I'm still broken. I haven't healed from some things, and that's why it's easy for me to stay in my pity, stay in my selfish ways. But if you're already married to this person, it's about patience now. Patience and time and consistency. But getting the help you need. Because let me tell every married couple on these platforms right now, it's going to be very hard for you to fix your spouse. It's going to be very hard to fix your spouse. You're too close to it.
And I'm gonna insert something in here before Joaquin finishes. Sonia Lene on YouTube said that was her. Papa Bruce, she said that was her. She says, and what her husband did was he ministered to her brokenness.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, when I tell you that's good, and I have to say, Joaquin and I did that for each other too. Joaquin and I did that for each other. We both ministered. He started ministering to my brokenness first. But as I grew in Christ, I began to be able to minister to Joaquin's brokenness. That's good, Sonya Lene. Thank you, girl. Thank you. Go ahead, baby.
So, Papa Brewster, thank you, Sonya Lane, for stealing my thunder. Um, before I can get to it, but no, that's very good.
Okay.
Once again, it goes back to I'm gonna piggyback off what Sonya Lene said because it's about her being able to recognize her brokenness. Your spouse or your significant other has to be able to understand that they are broken. We're all broken. But if we love and treat people through our brokenness, that's the difference. That's the difference. And this is the thing. There is absolutely nothing, and I mean nothing, you can do, Papa Brewster, that's going to make her see
Papa
your love in
Bruce.
her. Papa Bruce?
Okay. Papa Bruce, hold on.
I'm sorry, Papa Bruce. She's
On YouTube, is living as a single mother your fiance? Hold on. I'm sorry, Papa
Wow.
Bruce. I'm so sorry.
Hey, your fiance is on Facebook.
Okay, so Papa Bruce. Papa Bruce, your fiance. Hey, living as a single mother.
I'm glad you.
What is your name?
Yeah.
I need your name.
No, Papa Bruce. I'm gonna call you Papa Bruce.
His phone is dead, and yes, so Papa
wow.
Bruce must not be on here anymore.
No.
Okay. So he did ask a question. Oh,
Jasmine.
wow. Her name is Jasmine.
Terrell.
Okay.
So we can make it official. What's up, Jasmine and Terrell? How you all
Hi.
doing?
Thank y'all so much for being here.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I'm glad you're here,
Jasmine. Yeah, that's good.
You know, there are a lot of times, and I'm gonna say this. There are a lot of times I've heard women, and I've heard men, but I'm gonna speak to the woman part. I've heard women say, there are no good men out here. Sometimes we're actually with the person that we're with. I was supposed to be with this woman, but because of our brokenness, we could not see each other for who we were truly, because we were seeing each other through the eyes of our past and our brokenness. So you have to be careful with that. People will leave people because they see them through their brokenness and say he wasn't the person for me.
Mm-hmm. Wait, no.
But he actually had all the qualities that you wanted in a man. Think about it. You all know people right now that have been divorced or leave other people that say, what was wrong with him? He had everything I wanted. We just couldn't make it. How is it that someone, male or female, has everything that you need, everything that you desire and want, but you couldn't make it? Could it be that you're broken and you couldn't receive what they were trying to give to you? Or they're broken and they could not give it to you the way you needed to receive it?
Yeah. They needed to learn how to give you that the way you needed it.
But the only way I can learn is I have to be willing to learn. I have to be willing to open up and digress. That's why I always love making references to the military or working out. When you go to the military, the first thing they do is break you down. Forget anything you know, forget anything you've learned. I need to break you down till you feel like you need me to rebuild. That's how it is in a marriage. When you come out of a relationship, when you come out of a marriage, you have to get to a point when you say, you know what? It's not about what I've known. Let me get back to the basics.
Yeah.
Same way with working out. When I'm working out, I need to work to fatigue so my muscles can rebuild and get stronger. But if I never put myself in a position to be broken down,
yeah,
it's going to be hard for me to learn.
Mm-hmm. And in my brokenness, I went through grief recovery, and I speak highly of grief recovery because I know what it did for me.
Yes, I know what it did for us.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Before you move, I don't care what you do. Guess what? When your car breaks down, you take it to who? A mechanic. And a mechanic has to do what? Take some stuff off to make sure things are intact on the inside. That's good. See,
Yeah.
that we don't throw the car away. We don't throw the person away. We make sure the insides are needed to be adjusted, need to be replaced, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah. And Jasmine on YouTube, you have to definitely get to a point to where you can forgive too.
Yes. Yeah. And Jasmine, that means forgive yourself,
Mm-hmm.
forgive your past,
Mm-hmm.
and forgive your fiance if he's hurt did anything to hurt you. And and,
Yeah.
and let me give you all for you all that may be well, let me say this. Just because I forgave my wife 10, 11 years ago, doesn't mean that was my last time forgiving her.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But when I forgive her, I need to start moving forward with my actions.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean
Absolutely.
that my mind still doesn't wander there or wonder if she this. So I have to go back to her a few more times throughout the years and say, babe, I still forgive you. Because I need that pain's still there. That
Yeah.
reminder is still there. So I have to reassure myself sometime by telling my wife that I forgive her. I have to remind myself that I forgive her.
Mm-hmm.
And me forgiving, me asking her for forgiveness still, or asking or telling her that I forgive her still reminds her that, hey, yeah, since I was the offender, I don't have time to play defense. Baby, I'm glad you forgive me, and I still apologize for that. It never should happen.
Yeah.
Period. This say once you start moving towards something and you all are building and growing, if that person brings that up in a mannerism that it takes for him just to get past it, it's not your place to get on the defense and start saying you need to get over it. No, no, because they could very well come back and say it never should happen. You're right, baby. I
Mm-hmm.
thank you for that.
Yeah. Yeah, and when you reside in Holy Spirit allows you, it's there's a conviction that happens and you get to feel it based on your relationship with God, on what that conviction feels like, what it looks like, how when Holy Spirit is talking to you, and it's different for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
It's different for everybody, and we have to dig deep into that relationship with Christ, because my healing didn't come until I asked Christ to save me. See, I needed him to come into my life and to save me, because I could have asked him to change the things around me. But here's the thing, if he had not have changed those things around
All
me,
right.
then if he had not have changed those things around me, I still would have been the same person had he changed those things around me. But when he changed me, I can adapt based on my forgiveness, based on my trust, based on my love, based on all of these things. I can now start saying, okay, how do I now handle these things that I'm different? Not that the circumstances are different, but that I am different, that I know me now, that I trust me, that I love me, that I forgive me. And all of these things can now start transitioning into my relationships with other people. They can now start transitioning into how I react and respond.
Yeah.
Okay? So when you begin to change from the inside out, when God starts working in you, his work comes through you.
Mm-hmm. I lost a question when someone asked me how soon did we move in together, before we were married or after we were married. I moved in with my wife 3 months before we got married because I just came back from overseas,
Mm-hmm.
and before I went overseas I rented my house out to a friend, so I wasn't gonna ask them to move out. However, I moved in with her, but I was still going back and forth from my uncle's house, so some family members' house. So I just didn't completely move in until after we were married. I didn't pay any bills in my wife's house until after we were
You
married.
moved in,
We
yep.
decided to move in together and everything. My house was too small for our family, so I kept it for rental property, and we go on from there.
Mm-hmm.
Someone else asked on here, do we record these videos? Yes, we do. That is for Amory Chic. Hey, go to our, please, everyone on TikTok, please go to our YouTube page. It's Joaquin and Stacy Loper. Subscribe to our page, and all of the videos are recorded there. You can rewatch them.
Mm-hmm.
And then someone else says, I do not want my heart to get broken again. So that is Miss Sharika Milton. Miss Sharika Milton, just a scenario for you. If your job comes up to you right now and says you're fired, and there's no rehire for this company, Are you going to stay fired or are you going to look for another job? Because that next job could fire you as well. But I would ask myself, why did I get fired? So in my next job, I make sure I don't make the same mistake. We all have to deal with the fact of the matter that in any relationship, our heart can be broken. But if my heart has been broken, what stipulations do I put in place to make sure that it doesn't get broken the same way again?
Mm-hmm. Right. That's good. And we got Lovely Williams talking about forgiveness, and she says forgiveness is for you as an individual,
Yeah.
not for the other person. And like David said, Lovely Williams, that's wisdom, because most people don't understand that I got to forgive for me so that I'm not drinking this poison and hoping somebody else gonna die. Because that's basically what forgiveness is.
Yeah.
It's drinking this poison, hoping somebody else to die. But here's the thing, Lovely. That is why Joaquin and I tell people all the time, when you are in your singleness, that's when you got to learn to forgive, because you start forgiving yourself first. And that's how you learn how to forgive other people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay? Because if we can't sit here and say that I love me, I trust me, I forgive me, I honor me, I can't ask somebody to do that for me and I don't even do it for myself.
Yep.
And too often, that's what we're walking into these relationships doing. We're walking into these relationships hoping that they will be the one to make us happy, that they will love us, that they will forgive us, that they will trust us. But do you trust yourself? Do you forgive yourself? Do you love yourself? Do you forgive? I'm telling you, true forgiveness is being able to forgive me for these dumb choices that I made when I allowed somebody to take advantage of me, when I allowed this to happen to me. Okay? Now, some things as a young child, until we get old enough to know right from wrong, we have to hold other people accountable for some of that stuff that we dealt with back then when we were 5, 8, and coming on up. But when it is our turn to be held accountable, can we hold ourselves accountable for the stuff, for the mess that we got ourselves into? Because some of it is self-inflicted.
Yeah. Now, my wife did a great job of bringing balance right there, because there are some people in here that have gone through some things that was totally out of your control.
Out of your control.
Totally out of your control.
But there are also some things that you self-inflicted upon yourself.
And this is the thing, even in our situation or your situation, why do you forgive for yourself first? Because the people, our son, because the people that hurt you, they don't even care that they hurt you.
Mm-hmm.
If they care that they hurt you, they wouldn't have went through with it.
Right.
So when you forgive, you have to forgive knowing that I need to move on. I remember telling my wife, I'm gonna stay in this marriage. I'm gonna make this work because I'm gonna be the best husband I can be. I'm not being the best husband because I want her to say you're the best husband. No, I want to be the best husband because that's my goal, to be the best husband. So yeah, I forgave for myself. Mm-hmm. Yep, and that forgiveness. Please, when you say I forgive you, ain't no magic fairy dust go come down and say, "Whoo, it's all forgotten." No. The book that I read, Getting Past What You'll Never Get Over, blessed my life. Mm-hmm. Blessed my life with understanding forgiveness on another level. So I would encourage anyone, if you've been hurt in any kind of way, seek the counsel you need. Yeah. Because the only thing you can do is, if you're going to forgive that person, whether you move on or not, you still need help in understanding forgiveness. Because trying to understand the forgiveness in a broken state, hard to put together. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we hope that this is some good stuff that we're giving you all in Coffee and Convos with us today.
Yeah, thank you all for the questions. Thank you for the inputs.
Yes.
We'll speak to that.
Which one? This one right here. Which one?
Either that one.
When someone tries to sabotage a relationship because they're afraid to get close. Ooh, that's good. When someone tries to sabotage the relationship because they're afraid to get close.
Sonya Lene just said
Okay.
some same thing along that lines.
Along that
Yeah,
lines. Okay.
she said she thought she had forgiven, but because of the huge walls that were up.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and that's good, Sonya Lene. Um, when someone tries to sabotage the relationship because they're afraid to get close, they still have their walls up.
Yep.
They're so afraid of being hurt again in the same manner that they're treading lightly on making decisions, on making moves that they're hindering the relationship from growing. So they have to take a deeper look inside of themselves and say, have I forgiven me? That will allow me to forgive the other person, to really think about the situation and self reflect on how did I play a part in it? What did I do or didn't do to help it or hurt the situation? So in that situation, let me get the name. Um uh Man, I do not know what your name says. The
Okay.
atypical. Oh, the atypical man. The atypical man. That's what it is.
Okay.
The atypical man. For you, she has to be willing to let down those walls. Thank you, Keisha, on YouTube. Yeah, she has to break down those walls, and she has to be willing to self reflect on herself and make sure that she's able to forgive her 1st.
Mm-hmm. And those walls have to be addressed. You have to address those walls and call them out.
Yep. And help her, and not don't ridicule her, but help her to understand. Be like, baby, do you see how this, doesn't help us? Do you see how
Ooh.
this might play a huge part in what is going on with us or what's hindering our relationship?
Hey, my man Terrence Parker on
YouTube.
YouTube just said we must keep in mind that winning the lottery doesn't end our money problems.
Mm-hmm.
Same way in marriage. Just because we get married, marriage does not solidify eternal
Eternal
happiness. We must solidify our mindset and maintain the stability.
Stability. Oh, that's
That's good.
good. That is good.
Yeah, when you get married, and this is the thing, we're gonna do a whole we're gonna do a whole segment on um truthfulness. And the truthfulness has to be at a point where you all are getting deeper into a relationship and it may go somewhere. This is what I always tell people. And I'm going to just be real with y'all. I love being real with you all. When I was in the world and I was being promiscuous,
Great.
one thing I used to tell women is give me my choice. Don't ever take my choice away from me. What does that mean? If you are married, you have a does it give me my choice to say I want to go through with this, or that's not something I want to cross down. That's not the road I want to go down. Don't allow someone to get close to you and you start making decisions to be together and he doesn't know some things about you that can really, in the future,
Oh, okay.
hurt his decision, saying, you know what, I'd have thought about this a little differently.
You go ahead and
Yeah,
talk.
be honest with this person. I'm still in love with someone else because of how we broke up. Tell that person so they can still say I decided to still be here for you or not, and I just kind of play it smooth. That's why it's so important not to, in my opinion, even though we did not do this, because we start having sex clouds your judgment of, man, should I be honest with this person? I don't want to lose what we have here. We're having a great time, but what if the great time ends because you just weren't truthful? And I ain't talking about I have a crazy family. As we get around and start hanging around family, we realize they're crazy. But but as you are going, when I got with this woman, I've been married twice. I have 2 kids. That's big for me to know.
Mm-hmm.
But if I ask you a question of, are you still in love with any of your exes? And you tell me no, I have to go on your word. That's all I have is your word.
Right.
Because at this point, I like you for who you are, not for what you've been through or what you've done. Give me the choice to love you fully. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah. Just be real.
Yeah. So I put the book up there because we have several questions about the book that needed to go in there as well. Sonia Lene, I also have something I need to ship to you too from the conference that COVID-19 kept you from. So I have something from you that came with you purchasing your ticket for the women's retreat. So Sonia, email me your address, your mailing address, so I
Uh
can get that over
oh.
to you.
Sharika Milton says I get married in August. I'm 28. Well, I'm sorry, on August the 28th. I'm 29 and he 26. Look at you, old cougar. You old cougar. You old cougar. I got me a mountain lion too, girl. Got me a mountain lion too. My wife is older than I am as well. And there's nothing
Hmm.
wrong with that. As long as he's a mature 26-year-old, cool. But understand that him being 26, yeah, there's some hiccups he's gonna have. Because he's still 26.
Shanisa says, "How do you handle your spouse friends trying to destroy your bond?" And this is on YouTube.
Hmm.
You got to talk to your husband about that.
Hmm.
You need to sit down and have a serious conversation with your husband about what you feel that you see your husband's friends trying to do, and make sure that you have concrete examples of what that has looked like that impacts you. Remember, you say, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
This is how I feel, or this is what it is making me feel
This is
like.
how it's making me feel.
Feel,
Yes.
okay?
Yes.
This is how it's making me feel. And understand that you need to have those situations, those concrete examples of when this happened, when they did this, or when they said this,
Mm-hmm.
to bring to your husbands, because our husbands like information. Give me details on what was said, what was done, and what that looks like to you. Okay? I hope that helps.
She's not lying. Because as if my wife comes to me and tell me you need to let people go, she's done that before, y'all. She's done that before. Um, I couldn't see it at first. But when she tells me how it makes her feel, that's when my ears have to click in as a husband, not as a friend. If my wife is feeling some kind of way, it's my job as a husband to make sure she's not feeling that way,
Mm-hmm.
and to make sure I be now um I'm trying to be aware of what she's saying.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to look for what she's saying that makes her feel this way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm putting myself in position for our marriage to grow and seeing how they react to it. I don't care if they've been friends. I don't care if we've been friends for 20 years and I've only been married for 6 months. That means I've made a decision to go forth in life with this one.
Yeah.
And if our friendship of 20 years don't hold us together, then that means our friendship of 20 years has met its season. But you
Yeah.
have to be strong enough to say that.
It's met its expiration date.
Yep.
Yeah. So you have to be willing to. We do apologize that we have to get ready to get out of here. We have
Yes, we do.
some clients that we need to see. So Chanisa on YouTube, yeah, you have to truly, because at this point he may not be mature enough, or he may not be ready to hear what you have to say. Maybe you guys have experienced something in your marriage that makes him feel like you're just trying to push these people out of your life. And so you got to get to the bottom of that. Why is he not listening to you? Why is it that he doesn't want to hear it? I actually have a client that is walking through this same thing in her marriage right now. And one of the things she says that she learned was when they got into an argument or some heated fellowship. Thank you, Sonia Lene. In some heated fellowship, that he would always throw back up in her face times when she might have texted that particular friend, or or a time when they were all in the same facility and she might have did something, or she might have said something, because he was trying to defend his friend or be on his friend's side. And so we have to break the boundaries of either jealousy or some other things that might be transpiring in the marriage before he's going to hear
Mm-hmm.
that this is what's transpiring, that I feel they're trying to really come between our bond.
Yeah. Yeah, and it has to be balanced in that if he comes to you, even if he comes to you in malice and says, well, I don't like this person, you have to be willing to say, okay, well, hey, I'll limit my time with them.
Yep.
Period.
Yep. I remember going to ask Joaquin if he would stop working for someone I called a friend for 20 some years. I had to ask Joaquin to stop. I had to ask him, stop. I need you to stop. She doesn't need to call you to come and take care of anything for her. And because he owned his own lawn service, and she would call him for all sorts of things. And at first it took me to have that conversation with him 3 times. And she was my friend.
Yeah.
She was my friend. And it was like I had to have that conversation with him 3 times for him to understand. This is why I don't I just it doesn't settle in my spirit for
Yeah.
you to be in her presence.
Yep.
Yeah. And so it took him a minute to understand that, but he did. And I appreciated that.
Your life is no longer yours, husbands. And wives, your lives are no longer yours. Well, I'm just playing, but the Bible is clear. My body is no longer mine. Her body is no longer hers. So let me bring clarity to that.
Mm-hmm.
That was supposed to be a joke, but that probably will go well once we got off this live. So
Yeah. So we are definitely going to come back to you guys again starting next week. We do hate that we have to shorten our time on here to be with you all, because usually we're here with you all for an hour and a half to about 2 hours. We thank you, thank you, thank you so much for being here and just for being a part of our lives as we invite you in. We thank you for your positivity, and we thank you for the love that you have shown us as a
yes, yes.
family.
So until next time, man, we love you all. We love you with the love of Christ. My name is Joaquin Loper. And this is my beautiful wife, Stacy Loper. And we'll talk to you all later. All right.
Yes, we love you with the love of Christ. And I think one more time, people wanted to see the book. This is the one that Joaquin read that completely changed his life. Getting Past What You'll Never Get Over. Getting Past What You'll Never Get Over by John F. Westfall.
Thank you, David.
Thank you, David. We love you. Have a great Saturday. Bye, everyone.
Yeah, talk to you all later. Eat a lot, love hard.
Yep. But why can I never turn this off? Oh, there we go.